Demonstrating crocodile hunting with a taxidermized crocodile, Egypt, around 1905. A circus strongwoman holds a piano and a pianist on her chest, 1920s. Albert Einstein with his mistress Margarita Konenkova, a Soviet spy, 1940s. Jim Carrey with his daughter Jane Carrey, 1991. Cell phone call, 1979, California. Jack Nicholson. Leonardo DiCaprio examines playing cards in 1995. A mother multitasking thanks to Nestle Nurser. She talks on the phone while feeding her baby with a Nestle Nurser baby bottle holder. 1961. Grace Jones, 1970s. Marlon Brando on the set of The Wild One, 1950s. Young and sassy Yvonne Craig in the early 1960s. Stephen Fry and Rowan Atkinson eating boiled eggs, late 1970s. A lone South African communist in the street calls on South African police cavalrymen to shoot him during the early stages of the communist white supremacist Rand Revolt. 1922, South Africa. Camouflage trees like this one was used to spy on the enemy during World War I. When Madonna met Antonio Banderas for the first time at Pedro Almodovar's party in Madrid 1990, with Lolis Leon and Rosie de Palma. Electric tractor from the early 1950s, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. A West Berlin photographer kicks a police officer during a demonstration on the other side of the border in East Berlin, August 13, 1986. Children washing a meerkat, South Africa, 1950s. Cat sitting on a boy's hat, 1939. Nathaniel Morgan removes a pig from a container located in the nuclear test zone at the Nevada test site, 1957. Circle swing at Luna Park, Coney Island, New York City, around 1905. One month after D-Day, 2 soldiers in the 147th Infantry use a flamethrower to clear a tunnel position on Iwo Jima. Hundreds of Japanese soldiers remained underground after the Marines withdrew, 1945. American soldiers talk with local women during the United States intervention in Panama, known as Operation Just Cause. In 1978, President Jimmy Carter presented the medal to Neil Armstrong. Halloween costumes, 19th century. A young woman driving a miniature pedal car on a street in Washington, D.C. in 1924. Marilyn Monroe teaches Patricia Kennedy, John Kennedy's sister, how to swing dance, 1962. Paris flood in 1910. BTS pick of the sitcom Friends, 1990s. Fidel Castro and Muammar Gaddafi in 1977, Tripoli, Libya. Elizabeth II with her sister. Queen Elizabeth II personally tests the L-85 assault rifle, 1993. Kendall Green Bicycle Club, United States, 1884. Winston Churchill smoking a cigar makes the V sign during a visit to Bradford, December 4, 1942. First Lady Mamie Eisenhower disliked the Kennedys. Mamie did not inform Jacqueline of a wheelchair available for her during a White House tour. Kennedy remained composed during the tour, but collapsed once home. Berkeley, California in 1969, Tom Dunphy as General Westmoreland protesting the Vietnam War. Informal photo. Queen Elizabeth II, shortly after giving birth to Prince Edward, 1964. Weightlifter. Relna, brewer, McRae, and fitness writer, gym owner Abby Stockton, lifting 100 pounds Milo Globe barbells, Santa Monica, California. C. 1946. Eminem, 1990s. A teenage boy giving flowers to Princess Diana with the help of his friends, 1989. Inuit mother with smiling baby, 1927. Arsen Yordanov demonstrates the vzdushna vzglavnitsa, or airbag, he created for passenger planes, 1957. The Arctic 103 years ago and now. These are survivors of the infamous 1972 Andes plane crash. Stranded for 72 days in the snow, they resorted to cannibalism as their only means of survival. Halloween costumes, 19th century. Ernest Hemingway and Agnes von Karofsky during World War I. Mildred Douglas riding a wild bull, Cheyenne, Wyoming, 1917. The crew of a TBF Avenger of Torpedo Squadron VT-31 scrambles from the sinking aircraft after ditching it during flight operations on board the USS Cabot CVL 28 September 6, 1943. The very first website created by Tim Berners-Lee on August 6, 1991. English elephants camouflaging military equipment. The tracked vehicle shown in this photo carried tourists up the slopes of Mont d'Arbois in Megève, France, 1919. Orson Welles told reporters he did not intend to panic with the previous night's radio adaptation of War of the Worlds. Listeners purportedly thought it a genuine news report of alien invasion. Night 38. Christy Turlington, 1989. The Seine floods in front of the Saint-Lazare Station, Paris, 1910. A mass swim in honor of Navy Day. Sevastopol, June 24, 1949. The remote-controlled robot STR-1 takes part in the liquidation of the consequences of the Chernobyl disaster, 1986, Pripyat. Cameron Diaz was a cheerleader in the late 80s. Grace Kelly, Princess of Monaco, and her husband Rainier III, Prince of Monaco, attracted curious onlookers while shopping in Lausanne, Switzerland, 1956. Members of the Noble and Holy Order of the Knights of Labor, one of the first United States labor unions. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1869. Uvai Saktayev, the giant of Soviet basketball, playing in 1956. A young bicycle stunt performer in the 1980s? World-class strength athletes are stunned by the strength of an ordinary Chinese farmer. 1968. Gwendolyn Brooks was the first Black American to win a Pulitzer Prize in 1950. She wrote poetry. An early gym machine, Stockholm, c. 1857. Dutch children play near 155mm American M107 shells on a city street. 1944. A notice on a Munich telephone booth prohibiting Jews from using payphones. Munich, Germany, 1942. Michael Jackson and Madonna at the Oscars, 1991. The Beatles, Sham vi sett Regot. Hitler wishing his guests a Happy New Year on New Year's Eve, 1936. Former NFL linebacker Rosie Greer watches the crowd from behind Robert Kennedy at the Ambassador Hotel. After the event, RFK was shot. Greer apprehended Sirhan and wrestled the gun away. 1968. Bruce Lee with his son. Circus performer Jean Liber, the man with a double body, had a parasitic twin named Jacques growing out of his torso. IBM 5100 portable computer, 1975 model, 16 kilobytes of RAM, United States. A unique tractor, the Hornsby Mammoth, 1910. Carrie Fisher and her stunt double sunbathe during breaks in filming the cult classic Star Wars Episode VI, Return of the Jedi, 1982. Checking in at Comic-Con San Diego, 1980. Senior Women's Boxing, New York City, 1925. War orphans looking through garbage cans for food. Tokyo, 1946. Mannequins and other objects are installed at the atomic testing grounds for Operation Teapot in 1955. Agatha Christie, 1898. Members of the 1st French Army in the Mulhouse area, France, decorated this Jeep with a captured picture of Hitler. 21. November 1944. Different reactions to heavy rain. (1976). The Bogside Nationalist neighborhood outside the city walls of Londonderry. Actor Anthony Perkins on the set of the film Psycho, 1960. In 1946, Marilyn Monroe worked as a pinup girl and charged $10 an hour to be photographed as reference for images that were turned into paintings. This is an example of one of the more safe for work images. Jesse Owens trains aboard the SS Manhattan en route to the Berlin Olympics. Mila Jovovich answers fan questions in an AOL online chat room, February 13, 1995. Bedouin woman weaves 1898. Maltese women talking, 1950. Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, and David Fincher on the set of Fight Club, 1999. Jim Morrison's grave at Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris. The Manchester Baby, the world's first electronic computer, 1948. A young woman plays the violin while her dog covers its ears, 1927. Kiss Your Favorite Beatle poster from 16 Magazine, 1965. A young Salvador Dalí with his wife Elena Diakonova. "68-year-old Barney Fry lifts 3 women, Joan Greenman, Sherry Lee Evans, and Kim Curtis, on the boardwalk, Muscle Beach, 1956. George Orwell with a puppy during the Spanish Civil War, 1937. An R-5 aircraft with suspended paratrooper cabins, 1936. Family mountain climb, 1990s. Winner of the Miss Nairobi Beauty Contest, Kenya, 1966. Nuns on the Run, 1971. Police and armed Afghan militiamen walk amid the debris after a bomb, allegedly placed by the Mujahideen rebels, exploded in downtown Kabul during celebrations marking the 10th anniversary of the Afghan Revolution backed by the Soviet Union, 1988. A teenage Ed Kemper. Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston, 1990s. London Arsenal's Sammy Nelson, with his trousers pulled down and his backside sticking out, celebrates after scoring a goal in front of the away fans, 1979. A group of children are playing outside. The boy on the right is holding a model airplane, USSR. Frida Kahlo in men's clothing center with her sisters Adriana and Christina and cousins Carmen and Carlos Veraza, 1926. British fascist Oswald Mosley on an attempted march through Manchester in 1962. A women's basketball team, 1900. They played in long-sleeved dresses and corsets. B fashion, 1900s. The Taj Mahal dome covered with bamboo scaffolding during World War II, 1940s. The Fellows at Homan Hall, Fresno State College's men's dormitory, claim a world record for stacking 73 people on a dormitory bed in May 1961. Young Muhammad Ali, then Cassius Clay. Commerce Centaur, 1933. Chinese Americans protesting against iron shipments to Japan in 1939. Dressed for New Year's and carrying gifts, a servant and young boy walk down the streets of Old San Francisco Chinatown pre-1906. "18-year-old Cassius Clay Muhammad Ali wins Olympic gold for light heavyweight boxing in 1960. Students at Augustana College react to the not guilty verdict of O.J. Simpson's trial. October 3, 1995. Pepsi commercial, Spice Girls, 1997. Brigitte Bardot in 1956. Timeless elegance.